The football team has no name. The New York Giants fans have no shame. And it's been Batman forever since the Cowboys won the big game. You are now watching a Philly Fuego production. Gracias, amigos. Fly, Eagles, fly. Welcome to the Nest Out West, where Eagles fans are always the best. I will always ride or die for this team, and when I'm gone, please bury me in green. Now I don't want to come off like I'm bragging, but I'ma bring the heat like an effing dragon. You can call me Fuego, aka Phillyzilla, coming to you like the Thriller in Manila. Lots of collabs and live streams galore. You're gonna love what I have in store. Giving you my all, I always will try. And just remember, it's fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah. What is good? What is going on? And what is cracking? I'm Philly Foothills, and I am back in the Nest Out West, where I'm trying to bring you the best when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles content on YouTube. And tonight, I am very happy to be joined by the one, the only Papa Sora. What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming into the Nest Out West, joining me to talk some Eagles football. And we already got some drama going on, popping off in the NFC East. So, yeah, we definitely got quite a bit to talk about tonight. I got quite a few questions for you for sure. So,
yes, sir.
First and foremost, though, I want all my Philbillies out there to make sure that you guys give him a warm welcome into the Nest Out West. You know, welcome in, Papa Sora, definitely. Let me. I'm looking for your banner here. I swear I just had it right in front of me. There it is. It was towards the top. Yeah, please welcome in Papa Sora to the Nest. Absolutely. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Nest Out West. Any of you guys, please become a Philbilly. Help me on the road to getting this channel monetized and providing more and more better content for you guys, the viewer. So yes, we're on the road to 4,000 watch hours, which is the new number that you have to reach besides having 1,000 or more subscribers on YouTube. So to get your channel monetized. So definitely make sure you guys go hit that thumbs up always before you leave the live stream. Helps push the content out there. Yes, sir. Absolutely. And yeah, that's good. Let's get this thing going. Definitely. I wanted to ask you first before we do that. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, and where are you from? Were you born an Eagles fan? Any good stuff you want to share with us?
So, absolutely not born Eagles fan. First Eagles fan in my family.
Nice, me too. Eagles fly.
I think, I don't know, he doesn't really care about football anymore, but I think back in the day, my grandpa on my dad's side was actually a Giants fan, so it's kind of funny, but I don't think he follows it anymore. But yeah, was not born an Eagles fan, was actually born in Alabama. Pretty much just followed college football. So huge Florida fan, so kind of when I started getting into the pros was when Tebow declared. So when he was in Denver, I watched Denver. And then he bounced around and ended up at the Eagles. So I watched the Eagles, and then I had already known about the previous, I knew about T.O., everybody knew about Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins was cool. He would just hit people and got paid. And as a young child, I was like, that's the coolest job ever. So you kind of already knew the Eagles, so I kind of just stuck around even after Chip Kelly cut Tebow, which still kind of stings to this day a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's a good backstory. Definitely, I like it. So, who would you say your favorite Eagle is on the current, your current Eagle right now, and then maybe throw out an all-time Eagle too if you have one. Besides Eagle. Tebow.
Current Eagle right now probably would be Fletcher Cox. I remember in high school, I think it's like one of those little pop socket things, and it was just Fletcher Cox, but he had it's that one picture where he just has that huge smile and his eyes are bugging out. So my phone would always be on my desk, and every time somebody would walk by, you would just see, oh god, I hit my mic. You would just see Fletcher Cox just staring at you. And everybody was like, "What the
Funny.
fuck is that?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it. Don't. That's my dad. Don't worry."
That's
And then
cool.
all time, I don't know. Again, probably just Brian Dawkins, because that's a guy that, looking at how he played, again going back, he's like that man. Because back during that time, that's when you could really, like, to quote him, "I'm gonna take his soul." That's when you could really do that.
Yeah,
But then also, like, looking at his backstory, being the family man and all of that, it was kind of, you as a young child, or even nowadays, you can learn a lot from him.
definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. And so yeah, definitely. We have a lot of new things going on with this Eagles team and whole new coaching staff, whole new there's a lot of new players and things like that. A whole new playbook for them to learn. What are your what are your realistic expectations for this team this year? Have you had a chance to look over the schedule, kind of think about it a little bit?
Yeah, so I would say expectations for this team's kind of, I would expect them to be able to make a playoff push, win the division, all that. Maybe wild card. I could expect them to be kind of in the running for the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely don't dislike that answer. That's for sure. I think I tend to agree with you, especially with the just the state of the division right now that we're in. And yeah, I don't think it's going to take much more than 8 wins to probably to win the division, more than likely. And possibly, like you said, we could be fighting for a wild card too as well. Yeah, I definitely like the expectations. Are there any? You have some thoughts on the new coaching staff and some the any of the position coaches that you're going to be watching?
I absolutely love this new coaching staff. Jonathan Gannon, Nick Sirianni, love them. Absolutely love them. Like, they're amazing. The amount of energy that they bring onto the field, like,
Yes.
you'll even see in the reports and in the clips during training camp, somebody messes up, Nick Sirianni's in his ear. Somebody, like, I don't remember who it was, but it was a defensive player. It might have honestly been Seth McPherson, because the dude's had one hell of a camp. But
Right.
he'll make like a pick, and Jonathan Gannon will be running 30 yards down the sideline, like, and he's hyped. He's
Yes.
absolutely just full of energy, and that's something we did not see in the old coaching staff. So I'm very excited for the coaching staff, secondary coach, running back coach. I'm excited for every single coaching staff.
Awesome. Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. He's got that confidence to him. He already looks and sounds like a head coach out there. So yeah, we better if he's has early success as a defensive coordinator, we better just enjoy him while we have him, because
Oh,
he may
absolutely.
be a head coach before long. We never know. But yeah, he's looking pretty good out there. I love his energy, like you said, and I think our linebacking coach, being as young as he is, Rawlis, at 27, I think he's going to be, bringing a lot of that energy too. I could see him after the linebackers make a stop on third down, or if a linebacker makes a play on special teams, then he's going to be jumping up and down on the sideline. He's going to be fired up. So because I don't know if you know this, but his brother is actually a WWE wrestler. So he's
Did
got
not know that. That
he's got
explains
that
a lot.
intensity. Yeah, he's got that intensity in his family, definitely. And hell, I mean, if we need him, we might be able to sign him to a contract, and he might be able to play some linebacker for us if we needed him to. Still, I mean,
He's young enough.
he really is. I mean, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm excited about this young coaching staff as well. Definitely, because it's a whole new era in Philadelphia, and yeah, it's going to be very fun to watch, because I think Sirianni is going to lean heavily on the coaching, the veteran coaching, I should say, of Jeff Stoutland, our offensive lineman, our offensive line
Yeah.
coach. Because if Sirianni if he's as smart as we think he is, then I think he's going to definitely rely on that veteran coaching, because Stoutland has so much experience in this league and he's had a lot of success. So I think we're going to try to definitely be a run first team and take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Hurts, and just let the game come to him and not let him have to press too much. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I also have a feeling with we're gonna need a lot of like the get back coach from the Rams, where it was just the one guy that kept pulling McVay off the sideline. That way he's not on the field. He was like, no, get back to. I feel like
Yeah.
we're definitely going to need a lot of people like ready for it.
Yeah, we may definitely. That's for sure. I think we're gonna have definitely a lot of energy, a lot of passion on our sideline, and that's nothing but a good thing, I think, going forward. So yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you for joining the live stream so far. Looks like we got a couple people in here. Sonic 2.25, what's going on? Richie MC and Awesomeness Sports, I should say. What's going on, my guy? Thank you for checking in. You guys make sure that you go check out my guy here, Papa Sora. He's on Twitch, and he's check him out on Twitter. Both of his links are in the description for this live stream. So yeah, go check him out. I definitely think that there's a reason why I bought him on. He's a good Eagles fan, and he's a knowledgeable guy. So I wanted to definitely pick his brain a little bit. And so a couple other things is the coaching staff. I'm excited about Tracy Rocker, our defensive line coach, because I think we have a lot of young and veteran pieces that are going to mesh very well together. And he has a very good coaching experience coming out of college. I'm sure that you being a Florida fan, you're not too, Tracy Rocker is not a unfamiliar name to you. I'm sure you knew about him. No?
Oh no, I'm saying yes. I know about him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think his experience is going to go a long way, and I'm really excited to see what he can get out of guys like Josh Sweat and even like Milton Williams and Teron Jackson. He's looking good in camp as well. So our draft picks are looking like pretty good, pretty solid pieces that we could help rotate in there. So
even the veterans like Hargrave, because like we see a lot of him winning one-on-ones, which is good because that's what we need with Fletcher getting double teamed, leaving a lot of space with Hargrave. And I definitely think during the end of the season, like kind of after the bye week, that's kind of when Hargrave started really cooking because he's used to nose tackle and 3-4 defense. So that's kind of when he was able to get comfortable and actually start looking like the guy we paid for.
Right, because he's making a lot of money. I mean, we got I think $70 million tied up between him and Fletcher Cox. So yeah, he's got to start showing up, or he's got to start restructuring that contract because he's making a lot of money. And we haven't necessarily got that kind of production out of him so far. So I agree with you. But we do have good veteran pieces as well. Him and Cox are going to be a good tandem. And yeah, I'm excited to watch this defense attack because I think they're going to be given a lot of different looks and things at the opposing offenses and the quarterbacks and try to confuse some guys. So yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, I think. DCA's in the house. Ernesto, I said ECA, I should say. Ernesto Chavez Aguilar during burpees while I listen to y'all. Let's go, Birds.
He getting the
hey, get it, Ernesto. Get it. Absolutely. Keep in shape, buddy. Yes, sir. I'm going to be actually starting a new workout program myself this weekend on Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be interesting to try to get back in shape a little bit more. But yeah, guys, make sure you hydrate. Definitely stay hydrated. Absolutely. So yeah, I was going to ask you too. So are there certain players or position battles that you are going to have a close eye on in this training camp now that pads are on? Is there some emerging players that you're hoping that they're going to bust out this year?
Yeah. I'm kind of pretty much with majority of the fan base ready to call a left tackle battle. My Lotto's already pretty much shown that he's won in. Like absolutely. I don't see at this point. Experiment with Dillard. Be like, listen, can you play left guard? That's your saving grace right now. If you can't play left guard, you're done.
Yeah, agreed.
At this point, slot I think is my top because I really think Zach McPherson can come in and kind of play. I even think he could go toe to toe with Steve at this point. I don't think he needs to be starting outside, but I think he might be able to get some starting experience in the slot. Because Zach McPherson, I remember, I'm not going to sit here and say I knew who he was before the draft, but I remember hearing that, researching. I was like, this guy looks good. I was fully ready to admit, like, all right, we're not going to get a veteran cornerback. We're just going to start with McPherson, and I think that'll be fine. And him showing in camp is giving me that reassurance that, listen, I'm glad we got Steve. I'm glad we got Steve Nelson, Darius Slay. He can have an actual rookie year, learn behind them, which is better for him.
Yeah.
But also, if we didn't get a QB2, I'd have been fully ready to say, I think McPherson's going to win it. And I'm really glad to see that he got first team reps today.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been lighting it up from what I've been hearing and seeing it in camp. So yeah, that's a very good thing to see because we need more and more cornerback depth. That's definitely still it's even with getting Nelson, because obviously we only got him on a 1-year deal, and with Slay, we only have him, I think, through next season, if I'm not mistaken. So we have to continue to develop these guys, groom them, and even possibly invest some draft capital come next April in the cornerback and maybe even safety position, because McLeod's getting older, and we don't know about Kevon Wallace at this point. Anthony Harris is only under a 1-year contract as well. So yeah, we got some. We definitely have some things to address in the future. But yeah, I'm excited about Davion Taylor, even though it sounds like he got a little nicked up. He's got a calf injury, but yeah, I'm excited about him. I'm excited about the draft pick in Jacoby Stevens. That he's going to be that hybrid between linebacker and safety. I think he's definitely going to be a better experiment at that than one Nate Gary was. I absolutely guarantee that.
I thought you were going to say Jalen Mills, but yes, you're right about Nate Gary.
Yeah, Nate Gary was absolute garbage. We all know that. Get out of here, Nate Gary. You just there to be. There's a reason why he didn't even make it into. I don't know if you heard that, but he got cut.
Yeah,
49ers before they even started their camp. I mean, that's embarrassing. That's pretty bad, dude. But yeah, on the offensive side of the ball, I'm looking at as like receiver wise. I'm looking at Quez Watkins, to be a burst, a step up guy this year and really burst onto the scene.
Yeah.
What do you think about our wide receiver room? How do you think it's gonna? Do you think Devontae Smith missing time is gonna with the hamstring that he has? Do you think that's gonna affect him too much? And do you with the recent rumors, do you think we should add a veteran into the mix as well?
So I will say with Devontae, not that worried, because you kind of how, and even I don't even remember last time we did it, but like he was injured, has like a tiny little MCL like sprain or tear or something. I don't remember exactly
It's
what it
mild.
was.
Yeah, it's a mild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still see him on the jugs. You see him in the meeting rooms, like participating, not with team drills, but I think individual drills or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever had any of that. I'm trying to remember the last time we had a guy like that was like, I've got a tiny little something, but here I am still at the jugs and like in team meetings and all that. I don't even remember the last time a coach like had his players that motivated or
that's a good
like
point. I don't either. I mean, maybe T.O. was doing that, but
yeah, I mean, broken leg in the Super Bowl. That's
right.
Like the last time I can remember.
Exactly. And that was exactly almost 20 years ago now. So
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm not, and I agree with you. I'm not too overly concerned about Devontae Smith either, because I think him and Jalen already have a pretty good chemistry, and I don't think that's going to throw that off at all too much. They've already been working. They've already put in some pretty good work this summer, and I think, like you said, he's still going to be able to catch. While his MCL's healing, he's still going to be able to study up the playbook and watch the guys in practice and things like that. So he's going to be able to envision himself, running through the drills and catching the ball, breaking tackles, things like that. So I think he's still going to be definitely a big part, of practice mentally. Definitely, I think he's going to be right there with the guys. So I'm not too worried about it at all.
Yeah. And especially when they were saying like 2 to 3 weeks, by the time that came out, it was 2 weeks. That's like 14 days. By the time that came out, it would have been 11 days till the first preseason game. So he'd have been back, which I don't even think he would have played that much. I think probably the one preseason game you play him in is the third one.
Right.
And that's just as a little warm up until week 1.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to overextend these guys in preseason when it doesn't count. So yeah, we just get them some reps in. Maybe in the first quarter or so, and then yeah, get the backups in there to if there's going to be some injuries, major injuries, especially. We'd rather have the backup guys take
Yeah.
the fault for sure. But yeah, so you think we should? Do you think not that there's really a lot of guys out there outside of really like Larry Fitzgerald? I mean, do you think we should add a veteran to this wide receiver room
Yeah.
now that Smith is going to be down for a little while, and we kind of lack that. I mean, besides Ward and Fulgham, we really lack that veteran leadership, and those guys don't have
That
super
much under their
kind of
belt. Yeah.
experience, right?
I'm at this point. I'm trying to think of because Larry Fitzgerald's really the only guy
Yeah,
that I would add on because even
we don't want
looking at
Alshon back for
skills and
sure.
character, looking at skills and character wise, like that's the guy. Because who are your other people? Exactly like you said, Alshon, which Fulgham confirmed all of our suspicions that once he came back, Doug was like, "All right, you're in, go."
Yeah,
And the other one's what Josh Gordon. He's gonna join for what 5 weeks and then kicked out again. So it's like it's really only Larry Fitzgerald's the only veteran that would make sense. That's the guy I'd be most comfortable with because at that point it's kind of like it's honestly like looking for a babysitter. Like who do I entrust with my child? I don't entrust Josh Gordon. Don't entrust Alshon.
yeah,
Larry Fitzgerald. I'll give him the keys to my house. Like
yeah. I agree. He's definitely a great guy on and off the field, and I think he would make a good veteran leadership and a good guy in the locker room for us. So yeah, I mean, but like you said, outside of him, and in hell, I mean, even the football giants might be giving him a call as well because they got they got uh, their new prize wide receiver in Kenny Galladay. He's got a hamstring issue, so it looks like he's going to be out a little while.
again.
And speaking of the Giants, what the hell is going on with Joke Judge and the New York Giants? Did you see that brawl the other day? I mean, it was crazy.
Oh,
Was,
okay. You're talking about the brawl. I didn't know if you were talking about the tweet that Joe Judge sent about the brawl.
Oh, I didn't even know that. What did he share that with us? What did he share?
I'm trying to remember. So basically, long story short, it was, and I'm going back on Twitter right now to see if I can find it, but it was kind of okay. I found it. Giants head coach Joe Judge on yesterday's brawl. I'm not gonna lie. ... It turned me on a little. Seeing the guys that passionate. He was just like, wait, hold on. Run that back real quick. Hold on. It what now? Like it's like, Joe, this is a family channel. Like it was not pleasant.
Yeah, and he is. I don't know. I don't know if you heard that he's got the coaches running too in practice with the players. I don't know. That to me, I think that's kind of disrespectful to the coaches. It's kind of embarrassing to have them running with the players. So I don't know what the hell he's doing in New York. I just really don't. I'm not even being sarcastic when I say that. I think he is a big issue for that football team going forward. It's not looking good. They may have been all laughing and joking after they had a big fight the other day, but I don't know. That was a pretty nasty brawl, and just the things that he's doing with some of these practices, I don't know. I'm just highly questioning Judge and company with the football Giants.
Yeah, because I know people were giving us they were giving us crap for like, oh, your coach is the same age as like your rookie player. Like Michael Clay was what 27. It's like some of your players are older than your coaches. That's going to demoralize them. Having your coaches run with the players is going to be demoralizing because it's going to be like, I don't need to listen to you. You're going to get in as much trouble as I am. So,
yeah,
and I think it's kind of karma because Giants fans were the one giving us the most crap, saying, "Well, that guy, your coach isn't even older than like your player. Your coach is making your coaches run with the players."
Yeah, I agree. And Richie MC, you said is Fulgham soft, and I don't know what you were referring to. I mean, I don't think we said he was soft. I think he's got a little bit. He's still got some things to prove. Coming off of last year, we've seen some good things, and then we've seen we've seen a little bit of a stretch where we didn't see a whole lot out of him. So he's got to be just more consistent this year, and yeah, just stay out there, stay on the field as much as possible, and try to contribute to this football team and be a good solid possession receiver for number one here, Jalen Hurts.
I don't know if he's referring to when we were talking about the Alshon thing, and if that's the case, I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong, Richie.
Yeah.
He had no say in that. Doug went with the vet, the contract, even though Alshon was not that good. And then when he would put Fulgham in, he would put him in at like the fourth quarter. Right. So he wouldn't really be rusty. And then when it was like 2 minutes left, that's when he would start cooking.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's also kind of what you see with Jalen Hurts. Like at the beginning on the one-on-ones, that's kind of really when you see the interceptions. And then after that, he's like, all right, I'm good. I'm throwing 3 touchdowns now on 11-on-11s when it really matters.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, if I see him struggling on the one-on-one, I'm kind of like, that's the beginning of the day. They'll all have the pregame warm-ups and all that. So
yeah,
I look at the one-on-ones like the pregame warm-ups. Let them get the mistakes out then. They don't count. It sucks to hear. Don't want to see it. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at the 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s when there's an actual multiple people, like when there's actually a double coverage and you're still able to make a touchdown. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, definitely. And Richie MC said, why is there no video of the brawl yet? Richie, I was researching it too. It's because it wasn't open to the media at the time. So yeah, there was nobody, and it wasn't open to fans either, obviously. So nobody was able to get it on video. But yeah, it's still funny. It was the funniest thing about it to me was the fact that the Danny Dumpster was on the bottom of that. They allowed him to get on the bottom of that pile. And they're, just the fact that his teammates weren't even worried about their starting quarterback, I think that kind of, I don't know how much they're really buying into him as their future at quarterback. What are your thoughts on Daniel Jones?
Well, they're praying that the GOAT Mike Glennon can save them. I mean, I mean, what else? Like,
I mean, exactly.
Not even to make the joke of like, it's Duke, who cares? But when was the last time you ever heard of Duke producing guys in the NFL? Like,
exactly. I've been saying that a lot too, and especially quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, the list is very, very short before him. That's for sure. Very, very short indeed. I think it might only be one other guy that played in the NFL from Duke as a quarterback that I found when I was researching it anyway. But yeah, speaking of like I said, I found it kind of funny that Daniel Jones ended up on the bottom of that scrum, because, and they're really lucky that nobody got hurt, especially him, because like you said, Mike Lennon's going to save the day. I don't know about that.
And also, like, Jones wasn't even he was one of the last people in the pile. So it was just.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, you're trying to get yourself hurt.
Yeah. Like,
or maybe he didn't want to be considered soft, because if he stood out, then some of the guys would be like, man, look at him. He wasn't even in the fray, in the mix.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, and apparently Joe Judge was like apparently too excited about the fight, but it was kind of like, if he was one of the last people in, but ended up at the bottom, it was, how long is that fight? Like, how long was it at that point then? Was nobody stopping it, or were they just like, I'm not listening to the coach, I don't care?
Exactly. Like, I mean, they said it literally took them several minutes, even, blowing whistles like crazy, to get it broke up and settled down. So yeah, it definitely was probably, it's too bad it's not on video, because it probably been pretty entertaining and fun to watch, because it would make for good TV, definitely good content.
Oh, absolutely. That'd have been on like NFL Network for days.
But I'm gonna adding a new thing to the show, and I wanted to start it off with a little fun fact of the day. So the oldest living land animal is the tortoise named Jonathan, who is 187 years old. Damn. The saying is right. You learn something new every day because I thought it was Jerry Jones. Yeah, so that's a fun fact of the day. That's a true fact, though. Thought you guys might enjoy that, definitely. But
I did.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Papa. But yeah, let's see here. Oh, Philly Mike's in the house. He said Papa Sora in the building. Absolutely. What's going on, Philly Mike? Shout out to you, my guy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are on opposite sides of the country right now. I'm in Cali. He's in Florida.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. We are holding it down. We are on not only YouTube, but Facebook as well, live on both of those social media platforms. So anybody out there, any new listeners, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Nest Out West and keep my dreams alive. All the proceeds to the new merch that we got going is going to not only the channel, but help fund the very first trip for me and Mrs. Foothills. The very first trip to Philadelphia this year. So yeah, come check it out. We got some Philly Fuego shirts and all that good stuff. I think you guys are going to like it. And yeah, absolutely. Keep it Fuego.
I'm pointing at the link, not anything else.
Yeah, I know. I know what you meant, man. Definitely. But yeah, check out Papa Sora's links too as well. He's on Twitch and Twitter as well. So yeah, we're keeping it lively tonight as well. Just talking some good Eagles football and some NFC talk as well. NFC East, I should say. So yeah, shout out to you, Philly Mike. Thanks for joining the live stream. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't heard of Philly Mike or the Philly Talk podcast, you've been probably living under about 3,000 rocks by now because his channel's been blowing up. He's been doing all kinds of good content, videos, live streams, interviews. He's had Dave Spadero on there, all kinds of people. So yeah, go check him out. Go like, share, and subscribe to his channel, and tell him Philly sent you for sure. But yeah, let's see here. Oh, my bad. Yeah, hit that link definitely, absolutely. Richie MC said, "Philly Mike, what are the Sixers doing? Watched about the drum guy upload. Very good there. Okay." ECA said, "LOL, damn it, Daniel, LOL."
I'm hoping the Sixers were getting ready for Lillard. That would be nice.
Oh man, that would be amazing. He's probably one of my absolute favorite players in the NBA right now. Game time is amazing. Absolutely amazing player. Love that guy. And he's a really good rapper too.
Yeah.
He really is. Richie MC said 187 is a bad omen for the tortoise. Yeah. Well, he's been living on the island of St. Helena since, and I'm not bullshitting you, since 1882. And that's an island in the Atlantic Ocean. So I think he's probably got a pretty fucking good life. Living on an island, I mean, just chilling, being the life of a tortoise. Yeah, he's probably had a pretty good life. I don't know if he's worried about any bad omens, Richie. A shout out to the 8 in the live stream for sure. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts? What you've seen so far, what you saw last year, anything you want to say about Jalen Hurts, your feelings?
Yeah, definitely excited for Hurts. I know he still struggles a little bit with some accuracy, kind of with the I can't even remember the name of the play, the wheel route. Wow.
Yeah.
Blanked there hard. I know he kind of struggles with that, kind of throws behind Miles Sanders a little bit. So yeah, I've noticed accuracy is more or less kind of nice to meet you, Lindy. Kind of shorter is where he kind of struggles with accuracy. Haven't really seen him mess up on a lot of deep balls, which is really shocking and very exciting at the same time. But yeah, no, I haven't seen. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's running a lot or I just haven't seen a lot of notes, but I've kind of seen him more or less focus more on his passing game than his running game. I think it was Sirianni in his latest presser talking about how he's really up. Hurts has really improved with his reading. There's no hesitation. There's no like double checking. None of that. It's okay. That guy's open. I'm going. I'm throwing. We're good. So very impressed with that. Definitely beat the Saints. Going to his 4th week of what we're looking at. Beat the
Yeah.
Saints, which was the number 1 defense at the time. Definitely helped with the running game and the use of his legs. Cardinals absolutely was his best game. I think we could have won that. Going to say glad we didn't because I don't think we would have ended up with Devontae Smith at that point. So Devontae Smith versus a worthless playoff game, I will take Devontae Smith all day, every day. Cowboys game, I think he had a good first half. Second half stunk, but that's also because Doug Peterson, and I even said this even when it was still like the Jalen versus Carson wars. I even said, I don't like Carson, but I will give him this. Doug Peterson and the coaching staff never adjusted in the second half. Didn't matter who was under center.
Facts.
It was never adjusted second half. So I don't. Yes, he did not do good the second half, but Carson never did good the second half either. The entire team didn't because the coaching never adjusted. Washington, absolute tank job. I do not count that. We would have won that game if he stayed in there.
Yeah,
so,
I agree with that definitely too. I think we had a pretty good chance of winning that game. We were looking pretty damn competitive before they decided to pull them out. But yeah, I mean, speaking of Washington, let's see here. What do you think about Larry? What do you think about Fitz? Fitzpatrick in Washington. Do you think he's going to last the whole season?
the thing with Fitzpatrick is he's a very bipolar quarterback. When he's hot, and he looks like he's like, okay.
That's a great way to example. That's a great example.
It's like when he's hot, he's hot. When he's not,
Yeah.
he absolutely sucks. And it's not like, oh, he sucks for this one game. It's he's hot for this one game. He looks good, and then like 5 weeks, it's just end me now. At this point, I just don't think he's starting. I think he's more of a backup. Will say, have not seen a lot of Washington camp updates, so I don't really know how good they're doing or how bad they're doing. I know one person said at one point they were talking about I think it was Joseph Vega, which I don't know if he was trolling or not, but it was one of the reporters asked Fitzgerald about the struggles, and he just went, "Man, I'm trying." So I don't know if that was real or not, but if that is, not looking good for Washington fans.
Yeah, I agree. And they don't have much behind him, so yeah, they're putting a lot of stock into Ryan Fitzpatrick being their guy. Like you said, he hasn't really shown he's able to do that for a full season. And saying that he's a bipolar quarterback, yeah, that's great. That's perfect. That's absolutely spot on with him. So I love that. I love that analogy, and I'm gonna probably use that for sure in the future because that's good. That's solid right there. So, what are your thoughts on staying in the NFC East? Should the Cow Turds be worried about protecting Dak, and then in return, if they try to lean on the run game more, are they going to be overusing Zeke?
So with Dak, it kind of showed because his injury was absolutely gruesome. Usually when it's minor injuries, you see the player come back more. But when it's a major injury like that, they just slowly go downhill. Kind of like with what Carson Wentz did, because it was his ankle. Going back to Dak now. It was his ankle, but now it's his shoulder, and I think something with his foot, or that might have been during the ankle process.
I haven't heard anything about his foot. I knew about obviously the ankle, the gruesome ankle injury.
So then it might have just been the ankle and nothing about the foot. I might be confusing that with once. But yeah, it's kind of, and their O-line isn't the best either. I don't care what anybody says. Cool, you got Zach Martin. There's not 5 Zach Martins out there. There's not. Their center retired last year. I don't even know who they replaced with their center. and I can't even name anybody else on that offensive lineman. Um,
Right.
but what's its face?
Vic 3, my guy was good.
So it's
What
kind
do you say,
of
Papa? So
so it's kind of, and I'm not saying he's going to go down the road of Carson Wentz to where it's just injury after injury after injury, but it's kind of, that's something you got to worry about because he's just starting to rehab from that ankle. He was looking good, or Cowboys were like hyped up because he was looking good during his workouts and all that, and then just the shoulder happens.
Yeah.
Obviously, he won't play in the Hall of Fame game, which even if he was healthy, wouldn't expect him to. But you got to wonder, shoulder lingers, ankle lingers. As a mobile quarterback like himself, those are probably the two most important things that you need right there, is your ankles and your shoulders to work. Obviously, you need everything to work. But those are kind of, with his play styles, being able to roll out and all that and take big hits, those are really, really important for him. As for Zeke, I think he was dropping off his game. I think Tony Pollard absolutely showed him up. I think he, like Amari Cooper, is not mentally tough. I think he pulls himself out when he's needed. Kind of like with Amari Cooper, he'll have a big game, and then he's just out. He's out for 5 plays. Zeke will have like a big rush, or not even a big rush, but like he'll get stopped, and then he'll burst out for 15. And then he's immediately running over to the bench. He needs his breather. He needs Ben DiNucci cooking up something for him.
Chef DiNucci.
Yeah,
Chef
exactly.
DiNucci. Chef Ben DiNucci. Shout out to Philly 500 for that. That was funny.
Absolutely.
He's calling him that. that was golden. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, and Zeke's had a lot of work, over the years. There's a lot of definitely was used a lot at Ohio State. He's used a lot in the pros with the Cowboys. So we all know that the shelf life is short for running backs in the NFL, and especially when you get overused like that, in a short amount of time, and it can compound that. So I don't really don't know how much Zeke really has left in him, and it's not like he's great at pass blocking or super great at catching the ball out of the backfield either. So yeah, I just don't know how much eating Zeke is going to be doing this year.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I don't want to say contract year because I don't think he's worried about a contract, but I feel like that's kind of what he needs to treat it. It's contract year. If he doesn't show that he's one of the top running backs like everybody claims he is, or how he looked his rookie year, I think Zeke's in trouble.
Yeah, because like you guys said, like you said, Pollard's he's been outplaying him at times too. So it's not like he doesn't have any competition behind him, So
yeah.
So who do you think has realistically, who do you think has the best chance in our division to win this thing?
I think it's probably going to end up being between us and the Cowboys, like how it was meant to be. Again, I don't know how well Washington's camp's going, so I can't really speak for them.
Yeah.
Giants, I think, are going to go back to being in the basement. I like a lot of what I've seen from our defense. I think our defense really is improved. I think our defense is going to be better than our offense. And I don't think that's going to be a bad thing because I think we're going to have mainly a run-heavy offense, which is going to drain the clock and be able to help the defense and all that.
Yeah. You're thinking the way I'm thinking. Yeah, I like it. Definitely. Because I'm thinking that, the defense is going to be the more dominant side of the ball too. And you said you just hit the nail on the head when you said we're going to be trying to establish the run game, ball control, establish long drives down the field, and when you are able to fire off the ball, win in the trenches, open up some good running lanes, that's only going to take that much. It's going to take so much pressure off of Jalen. It really is. It's going to open up things in play action, and I mean. So Are you all in on Hurts right now?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. 100%.
good. I'm glad to hear that. Definitely, it's Hurt season, baby. Absolutely, we need to give him his time. We need to let him grow and develop. So yeah, we need to be somewhat patient with him. I don't think we should, unless he absolutely looks, in my opinion, unless he absolutely looks just drastically terrible, where he regresses extremely this year, then I don't think we need to pull the plug on him. I think we need to give him at least 2 years, if not three, and see where we can go from there. It's not like there's a super deep quarterback class next year anyway.
Nah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
at that, like you said, not super deep. So at that point, if it's Jalen's not the guy, you're looking at like an Aaron Rodgers or a Deshaun Watson. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
you're looking for a
Rumors right
trade,
now.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Let's see. Eagles Uncensored said Zeke is on his last leg. They used him up like they did DeMarco Murray. Yeah, well said, my
as
friend.
long as he doesn't come
Absolutely.
to the Eagles like DeMarco Murray, I'm fine.
Yes. Yeah.
That
Exactly.
was
Right. That was a disaster. Chip Kelly. Yeah. Absolute disaster. It's not like it was. Not like it's not like a. It's not like a Tim Tebow move. That's for sure.
yeah.
Victory said Dak was a mobile QB. A mobile QB. He can't risk getting injured, and the thought if that and that thought will creep in Dak's mind. He'll be more of a pocket passer and will suffer for it by giving the defense a stationary target. Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. And I'm wondering if the coaching staff is gonna lean on him doing because they may not necessarily come out and tell him, "Yeah, Dak, you got to stay in the pocket more," but they could definitely call plays to definitely orchestrate that happening more and more. They definitely have some control of that. Unless there's a lot of plays that are breaking down and Dak's having to improvise on the run, then they can definitely call plays, quick passes, quick slants, things like that, things to protect him and to not make sure that he's getting the ball out of his hands quick and not exposing himself to big hits. But yeah, he could definitely, if he becomes a stationary target, that's going to be bad news for the Cowboys, I think, because I don't think their offensive line's good enough to protect a stationary quarterback. I really don't. Richie MC said, a big fan of the movie Varsity Blues. Yes, sir. After Paul Walker, RIP, rest in peace, Paul Walker character went down with a leg injury. Coach John Voight overused the running backs over the backup quarterback, Dawson's Creek. Yeah. Yeah, and then he did, but then he wouldn't give the running back his touches in the red zone. So that was kind of fucked up because of his it was because of the color of his skin. So that was bullshit. They had a black running back, and he used him like you said as a bell cow, in between the 20s. But when they got close to the end zone, they didn't give it to him. So yeah, you like that movie Varsity Blues, Papa?
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah,
it is so funny.
that's a classic football movie.
I love that dog. That's a pig. I know. But yeah, no, which I got. It's kind
Billy
of funny.
Bob, Billy Bob,
Yeah.
Bob.
It's kind of funny because I can.
It's got to be a yes or no answer. It can't. He can't answer with
numbers. Are you holding up fingers? No. Do we lose him? Is it me? Is he frozen? Oh no. Oh no. Snake. I don't know if it's me or not. Hold on, let me make sure it's not my internet. Okay. Am I frozen? I don't know. Let me. Is it me or him? Am I the one that's frozen? That sucks. Oh. Am I? Hello? Uh-oh. I guess we just gonna be dancing until then, chat. So how y'all doing? Y'all come around these parts here often? I don't know. Y'all having a blessed night out there? I'm solo now. Oh no. Yes, he left me with the bag. Oh man, I didn't want this responsibility. I didn't ask for this. Okay. Varsity Blues, man. What a movie. Who mentioned Varsity Blues? Who mentioned that? Hold on. I need to look back and see who mentioned that. Oh, it's right there on the screen still. Richie. That's a good movie. You have a great taste in movies. It's just me now. I don't know. Any of y'all trying to think. I'm from the South. Any of y'all ever gone square dancing? Y'all playing the banjo or anything? Do you have a channel? I have a Twitch and a Twitter. All of it is down in the description below. Did not get into making a YouTube channel. Kind of like that. Well, I'm from Bama. I'm not a Bama fan. I'm a Florida fan, first of all. So let's talk about college football then, shall we? So I know we're already looking. I know we're already looking at the chat, or not the chat, the draft. We're looking at play the sax. That's a good instrument. Can I play the spoons? Listen, I'm not a professional. Not a professional at the spoons, but I can ditty a tune. So 1-0 right now, going to college football. Since I know we're already all looking at the draft and all looking at oh, you're in Bama? Nice. That's my hometown right there, baby. I know we're already looking at cornerbacks like Derek Stingley and Kyrie Elam. Who do y'all want more, Stingley or Elam? Can I play the harmonica? Absolutely not. What part are you? So Vic, that's not true. We're coming back. Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen's a very good coach. The thing with Urban Meyer though, and I said this exactly when he signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I can't wait for him to have a winning season. And then when the pressure starts getting on, Elon, by the way, Bird Gang, but when the pressure starts getting on to what's its face? When the pressure starts getting on him and the team, he's gonna fake another heart attack. Because that's exactly what he did with Florida. That's exactly what he did with Ohio State. He just kept faking heart attacks. And then he was like, I'm having a heart attack, gotta retire. Time passed. He was like, I'm working with Ohio State. Same thing with Ohio State. Time passed. Now he's with Jacksonville Jaguars. So can't wait to see what team he's on in 3 to 4 years. But Florida's definitely coming back with Dan Mullen. Definitely, I think defense will be a lot better. I know Foothills is coming. Sweet. I know I can't even remember the name of my own defensive coordinator right now, but that's also because I screamed out his name a lot out of anger. I know he just was not. He's back. Sweet.
Sorry about that, man. I don't know what the freaking happened to my internet. It crashed on me. I appreciate you holding down for me while I was gone.
Yeah, no, we're good. We were talking about college football.
Yeah. Go ahead with what you were saying, though.
Oh, I was just saying, I think Florida's defense is going to be a lot better because McElwain's guys, Mullen can recruit, unlike McElwain. So McElwain's guys were mainly a lot on defense, and that's just why the defense sucked. Like, we were able to put up 50 points a game, but the defense let up 40 points, quite like what the Cowboys did. So it kind of hurt looking at my team being like, damn, we look like the Cowboys, and I hate it.
Yeah. So you're a big Florida fan, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So what was your feelings on, I bet were you hyped on the possibility when we had Trevon Grimes? Were you
I was like, he's going to win a starting spot. 100. I was like, it's going to be Devontae Smith, Rager in the slot, Grimes on the outside. I absolutely was 100% ready to call it. I was so ready to call it. I was like, y'all, we got a good one. And then I was like one of the first people. You can ask anybody that watched like a Philly 500 streams. I was always in there. I was banging the table for Kyle Pitts. Everybody was like, no, we don't need another tight end. I was like, you understand. This man is not a tight end. Put him on the outside.
The chance said Jerry Jones is the void character. He will run Zeke into an injury like he did with DeMarco Murray. Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. Because now that Dak's hurt, they're going to be leaning on Zeke even more now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number 7 on the like button. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for making sure you hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. It helps get the channel pushed out there more and more so I can get more eyes on it, more views, things like that, more watch hours. Got to stack them up. Let's see here. Let me try to catch up on some of these comments here. Eagles Uncensored podcast said, LOL, wait, Dallas fans say he is not mobile, so which one is it?
Who, Dak?
Yeah.
You can.
If Rich MC might gotta help us all. Bird Gang 31 was in the building. What's going on, my guy? Thank you for checking in. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Congratulations to him on reaching the 300 mark in subscribers. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Congratulations on that. And keep grinding, my man. Definitely. Thank you for being here on the live stream. Shout out to the 7 in here with us right now. Let's see. Who's parting with me in a halftime card giveaway time? I don't know. Let's see here. Catch up on some of these. Yes, sir. You're welcome. Absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations, man. It's always cool to reach another milestone. So yeah, keep grinding, doing good things on your show. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know the internet crashed. My bad, guys. Let's see here.
Yeah, things definitely started going off the track.
Yeah, so let's see here. Let's get back to we were talking about Jalen Hurts a little bit. Actually get Yeah, so I think we both been liking what we're seeing so far for the most part out of Jalen Hurts, but what did you think about that? Did you see that deadlift that he did? Do you think it's pretty possible right now we could have the strongest quarterback in the league? He deadlifted 625 pounds.
Yeah, because even in college, he was squatting like 400. I remember seeing that, and now it's just impressive.
I heard actually, I think it was Vic 3 that said the other day in my live stream or somebody else's, but I remember Vic 3 saying he was squatting 500 pounds as a freshman in college. So yeah,
it might have been 500.
Freaking strong. He might be outside of Lamar Jackson, and I don't know how much Lamar Jackson's deadlifting, but I mean he might be the strongest quarterback in the NFL right now. Because yeah, Cam maybe used to be, but Cam's not the old Cam of the Superman Cam's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see here. Sorry if I missed you guys' comments, but yeah, Vic said 500. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, 500 as a freshman in college, that's pretty damn impressive for a quarterback. Pretty damn impressive. But that's running back numbers. Victory said the Cowboys will be fine this season if Dak goes down. There's always Ben DiNucci to the rescue. Absolutely, they can sprinkle in a little spices with the chef Ben DiNucci. Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I would welcome that. Would welcome that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we talked about who we thought is going to be the dominant side of the ball. We both think the defense is going to be the dominant side of the ball this year. Let's see here. Yeah, so speaking of quarterbacks, we have a pretty deep. I think us and the as far as excuse me, as far as NFL experience and talent to a certain extent, I think us and the Chicago Bears have the deepest quarterback rooms right now. I mean, we
Absolutely.
got Jalen Hurts, we got Joe Flacco, Nick Mullins. They just drafted Justin Fields. He's looking like he's probably going to be their starter come week 1, and Nick Foles is still in the mix there, and they have Andy Dalton in Chicago. So
Yeah.
it's going to be if I wanted to ask you too. What would you think of if Nick Foles ends up in Indianapolis?
I can't wait for the Carson tantrum if that happens. I cannot wait for the Carson tantrum if that happens.
Right. I mean, that's going to be probably career suit. I don't know if Frank Reich would, if he does that, he really doesn't care about Carson Wentz and his career going forward, because that might be career suicide for him.
Oh, absolutely.
And so who would you rather see? Speaking of our deep quarterback room, who would you rather see as our quarterback too, and why?
Based on what I've seen from camp and what I've seen from him playing with like the Niners and all that, I'd go with Nick Mullins at this point. Kind of Joe Flacco's there to kind of be like what we needed, kind of how we were talking about. Oh, if we get a veteran wide receiver, kind of be there to coach. That's kind of at this point what Flacco's doing. I think Mullins is just looking better. I don't remember who said it. It might have been Big Play Slay, but I think he was saying he's like stat wise, Mullins, when he comes in as a backup, he was like a top 3 backup or something like that. That might have been in like 2018 or something, or not 2018, 2019. But either way, like he's still showing from camp and all that he's looking good. So
right, yeah, I agree, and I don't really want Joe Flacco around. I don't think he's going to be a good. He's not a good teammate for just the locker room in general, and especially Jalen Hurts. I don't like his. He doesn't seem to want to be that he doesn't really want to accept that backup quarterback role yet, even though he's definitely on the back 9 of his career. And he was never really he won a Super Bowl and he had a really good run in that playoff year, but he's never been an overly hyped or talented quarterback, even in his best years. So, yeah, I would rather send Flacco to Indy or to even to Dallas to be. He could go be a backup for Dak, and then they don't have to worry about Chef Ben DiNucci having to come out of the kitchen and strap on the helmet.
He's like, I gotta switch hats real quick. Hold on.
Right, he checks if the chef hat.
Yeah. All right, we're good.
Right, we're good to go.
Just imagining McCarthy being like, "Put down the fucking spatula, let's go."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it's funny that a lot of Giants fans think that Saquon's going to be their saving grace this year, but they really didn't address their offensive line this past offseason, and they still have, to me, they have some deficiencies up there for sure. So yeah, I don't know how well Saquon's going to do this year. What are your thoughts on him?
He's still on the injured list, right? Like,
I'm not sure actually. I have to
I don't
double
know
check.
if he's on the I don't know if he's on the pup list so far, but either way, I mean, I don't think he's been healthy all year. I don't think he's been healthy all year for a single season, besides maybe his rookie season. But that was about it. Um, Definitely agree with the no line. Like they still have no offensive lineman, so that's gonna suck for Danny Pennies, their number one receiver that they were wanting, is out with a hamstring injury again. He keeps getting those. And then behind Saquon Barkley, if and possibly when he goes down, there's no depth behind him. Like Devontae Freeman, at least, was able to kind of be a reliable running back behind him, but they let him walk. He's with the Saints now, I think.
Yeah,
So it's
and
kind of who's behind Barkley if he goes down or if he can't play week 1, which it
right,
looks like it, I believe.
because they and another one of their backups that they had last year that was pretty decent for them was Wayne Gallman, and he's in San Francisco now. So yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
he is.
I haven't even checked to see who is behind Saquon. So that's a good question. And if anybody knows in the live stream right now, definitely fill us in on who's Saquon Barkley's number one backup. Vic 3 said the Giants just lost a lineman to retirement. Yeah, I
That's
heard
the
that
second
too.
guy they've lost to retirement.
Yeah, so I think maybe that fight might have took a little bit more out of these guys than they're leading on. That brawl was Corey Clemens. Okay, gotcha.
True. Corey Clement and Devontae Booker are
That's right.
behind.
They have Corey Clement. That's right. Yeah, he's our double agent. He's
Yeah. We're
he's gonna
paying
be
him good money. We're paying him side money.
right. He's gonna be feeding us intel. Absolutely.
Keep starting them fights.
Exactly. Yep, he's doing exactly what we need him to do. Yeah, for sure. He's if Saquon goes down and they gotta lean on Corey Clement, yeah, that's gonna be tough sledding for that team, especially behind that offensive line. Yeah, Corey Clemens. So they're losing offensive lineman to retirement. Victory said he started that fight. Yeah, I thought it was Jabril Peppers that started the fight. No, because I thought it was Jabril Peppers that hit Corey Clement late, and then Evan Ingram's came in and shoved Jabril Peppers, and then Logan Ryan came in and blasted Evan Ingram. So I thought that's how it started. I didn't think Corey Clement started it, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was Jabril Peppers more than anybody, really, and Evan Ingram. I guess it's always the second guy that gets caught. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on this past off season for our GM and him going forward, the future for Howie Roseman? Like, what I want you to go kind of into detail a little bit about what you're thinking about the situation with him and the future for this organization as far as who's going to be our GM next year, because he's not re-signed yet, so this is kind of a contract year for Howie. So what are you thinking?
I mean, I hate to say it because I feel like it's a cardinal sin, but I was actually impressed with Howie this year. I mean, he made good draft picks, brought in guys like Anthony Harris 1 year, $5 million. Was able to bring in like Steve Nelson, Eric Wilson, all that, and we had like $4 million, and we started off, I think, second worst team cap wise, and we were able to get all of these guys, and we upgraded like the secondary. All that we went from having Jalen Mills to Anthony Harris, Avonte Maddox to Steve Nelson.
Yeah,
Nathan Gary to Eric Wilson. Like, we're getting these good upgrades. We're getting good guys. I don't want to say he's fully redeemed himself. I'm still waiting for him to make the slip up and immediately just be like, I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true. I do think, like you said, the fact that he hasn't re-signed yet, I do think that it's kind of telling something. I think it's kind of telling something.
I think it is too, and I think the only thing that might save his job is if Jalen Hurts has a really, really big year this year. Really, I mean, if he just Well, I mean, if he's in the MVP talk, let's say, I think it's going to kind of take that sort of level of a year out of Jalen Hurts to really save Howie's job. And even then, I don't know, because like you said, I think the owner is sending a message right now, and that message is, if this draft looks good on paper right now, and this is by far his best draft on paper, no doubt, because we haven't seen any of these guys play yet, so it's all projection right now at this point. But I mean, a lot of these picks are looking good so far in camp, and I think if Dickerson pans out, we could have a steal, one hell of a steal in the second round there in him, because he could be our future, a middle of the line. We can move him around we need to, with if different guys get injured or whatever. If some guys are more comfortable playing different positions, things like that. But yeah, I'm with you though. I don't think he's by far not even close to redeeming himself for all of the, especially all of the terrible drafts that we've had out of Howie over the years. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good at salary cap moving, getting the numbers crunched and things like that. And so he's a great accountant, but you have to be more than a great accountant than that. You have to have more than that in your arsenal if you're going to be a good GM in this league. You have to be a good talent evaluator and a good drafter when it comes to, to draft weekend. So yeah, he's still got a lot of ways to go in my book. So yeah, he's definitely not off the hook at all.
Yeah. And I think Lurie's playing it smart. I think he's waiting kind of for the end of the year, seeing how the year goes. Like if, like you said, Jalen Hurts doesn't pan out, that doesn't look good. Like if Steve Nelson or Anthony, if anybody that he brought on doesn't look good,
yeah,
it'll pan out. Like if we're looking at another 4 and I guess now would be 4-13 season. If we're looking at another one of those, I think he's out the window. And this is if Howie does leave, this is a very appealing job for any general manager. You're looking at 2 firsts, possibly 3, doubt it, and then if we're 4-13, 2 very high seconds. So it's a very appealing job for a general manager to come in.
Agreed.
So I don't know. I think kind of end of the season's when we're going to find out if Howie gets re-signed. Or who knows, maybe we make the playoffs and Lurie goes, I'm still not going to re-sign you. That'd be best case scenario.
Yeah. And if I definitely think that if Hurts isn't the guy, but for some reason, then Howie's definitely going to be gone before Sirianni. I can almost guarantee you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sirianni is going to be able to stand back and go, "Hey, I wasn't even here when you guys drafted Jalen. That's your guy, Howie. You drafted him, and let me bring my own guy in, and let's bring another GM in here who's more skilled at player evaluation, bringing some solid talent in from not only free agency, which Howie hasn't been terrible at when it comes to that department over the years, but it's been more of the talent coming out of the draft and things like that. Just his draft evaluations and things like that are just, some of them are really, really out there. And the fact that he doesn't listen to a lot of his player scouts some of the time is asinine. It's very frustrating. And it's just like, what are they even there for? What are you guys even paying these guys for? And in turn, those guys aren't probably even working as hard as they really could. If you think about it, they're probably sitting back and going, "Oh, this fucking Roseman's not he's not even going to really listen to what I'm going to tell him anyway. So why am I going to put in all this hard work for nothing when he's just going to make his own decision anyway?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, because those guys also travel a lot and spend times away from their families. So like, why am I gonna do this if it's like, all right, whatever?
Facts. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for people like that, especially when you have a GM like we do, who definitely tries to, he definitely walks his own path in life. That's for sure. He's a different guy that I still don't fully understand a lot of the things he does, and I probably never will. And that's just something that we're gonna, have to face facts on. But yeah, I mean, the injury to Brandon Brooks. Are you overly concerned with that? I know they said it was just a slight hamstring issue, but it doesn't seem too serious. But what were your thoughts on that when you first seen that?
So little on the mix about it because it's like you said, not serious.
Yeah.
It's not serious. Everybody looks like they're going to be ready medically wise for week 1, which is great. Minus maybe McLeod, but Brooks is talking about how he was able to get. I think he added on like 30 pounds, but it was 30 pounds of muscle, so he was able to get to the body weight he wanted. He was able to stay in shape, which is great. The hamstring, it's not a big deal. He's still day to day, and he's talking about he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be ready. Don't worry about it. Which is that's great. The part that I worry about is it's another injury that's dealing with this dude. And it was because it was after he got paid, and I don't even remember when we gave him the big contract, but he was injured at least once every year. It might not have been season ending, unlike last year, but every year the guy had some sort of injury. And so it was just if this is the one injury for this year, go ahead and get it out the way. Just go ahead and take it now,
Right.
and we're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's get it out of the way. Let's put it behind us, and let's move forward for sure. Because if we have we have a healthy offensive line, yeah, we're gonna be putting up some points this year because we're gonna have a very balanced offense, and yeah, they're gonna be opening some big holes for this running back room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have a pretty deep running back. Speaking of the running backs, pretty deep running back room. Who do you? Depending on if we keep 4, and maybe keep 1 or 2 on the practice squad, who do you see making this team as far as the running backs? We have obviously Miles Sanders, Kerryon Johnson. I heard him talk for the first time today in front of the media, and he sounded very, very intelligent. We still have Jordan Howard. We have Boston Scott. And don't forget about the guy that we just drafted in Kenny Gainwell. We also have Jason Huntley, who we picked up from the Lions last year. And we even have Evander Holyfield's son, the old boxer. We have Elijah Holyfield on the roster, who I'm sure you're familiar with, being that he's from Georgia. So, yeah, he's from down there, down south there. But, yeah, who do you think's going to merge in this running back room?
Well, I think since since we moved to an 18-week game, I think they also said we get 1 additional roster spot. I don't know if that goes for the active or in general.
1? That's that you heard that? Did you hear that recently?
Because I haven't heard. I'm saying I think I heard that when the 18-week thing was announced.
Okay.
That we get an addition. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But okay. The cops. I just heard a cop siren all of a sudden. Oh, okay. Yeah, there goes that man. Okay.
They're coming for Papa Sora. No, just kidding.
No. They went past me. I'm good.
Shots fired.
Shit.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I've honestly kind of felt like they might, if the additional roster spot thing is true, they might keep 5. Because I can see Sanders, and I know people were talking about like Howard versus Johnson. They might keep both of them at this point because Kerryon Johnson, people were talking about like with the Lions, he always had knee issues, and like he came into Philly and he was like, I'm wearing the knee brace specifically for comfort. It's not because my movement's restricted, not because my knee is bothering. It brings me comfort and it helps. So I'm wearing it strictly for comfort. And he looks good. Jordan Howard looks to be in the best shape of his life. Even back in early 2018 when we still had him and he looked good before Miles Sanders was officially running back 1, before that stinger that took him out. And he still looked good then. And even with the 3 years with the Bears, he looks to be in the best shape of his life. So possibly those 3. I think Kenneth Gainwell, you'll see do what Corey Clement did, kind of just be the jack of all trades. wheel route, catching passes, going on a route, being able to run, juke, all that. I think you'll see that, and then I think you'll see Boston Scott kind of keep the Darren Sproles role, just kind of come in the fourth quarter, drain the clock if need, because even he's pulling out impressive runs. Like he's having 15, 20-yard gains during practice and all that. So he's having
He's
very
working
impressive
hard. Yeah.
runs. Yeah.
He's definitely
Uh,
not willing to. He's not in any way giving into dropping up or giving up, I should say, a roster spot. I think Boston
yeah,
Scott's in that mindset of, I made this team last year and it's mine to lose. So yeah, he's working hard. I
absolutely.
like it.
I think practice squad wise, you might see still Evander Holyfield's kid, Adrian Killens.
Yeah.
I think with Jason Huntley and maybe Adrian Killens, I think they're saying, I know definitely with Jason Huntley, he's mainly been with the wide receivers. So I don't know if they're going to try him there.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
I've heard.
know.
The only thing I heard about Huntley so far is, well, I heard a couple things. He's been doing decent with the running backs when
Yeah.
had some reps with them, and I know on Johnson and both of those guys they know each other from Detroit, and on came out in the presser earlier and he was said that Huntley has vastly improved his pass blocking because when he came in as a rookie to Detroit, he was shitty at it, and on used to give him guff about it. So the thing about it was that he was definitely complimenting Jason Huntley about improving his pass blocking. So that's always important. As a running back, if you're able to protect the quarterback on a third down, a third and long, when the defense knows that they're going to be you're just going to be dropping back and looking to throw the ball, then yeah, that's more the better. Because I know on definitely excels in that department too, as far as pass blocking as a running back.
Yeah, I remember watching him back when he was with Auburn. That was one of the years.
Did he have knee issues in college too, or just in the pros?
I think just in Detroit. You
Okay,
can't have shit. You can't have shit in Detroit.
maybe it's the water. It must have been the
Yeah,
water there.
it was the lead poisoning. Oh, but even in Auburn, like he was a dominant running back. I remember watching him in the Iron Bowl, and that was one of the games that Auburn won. Because
Yeah.
Auburn doesn't win very many of those games, but that was one, and he was the main reason why. And he went like second round. I don't remember what pick, but it was a very early second round.
Yeah.
And then just Detroit messed up his knees.
Right.
I have noticed Detroit always gives us their good players. Darius Slay, Fulgham, Johnson, Huntley. They just keep giving. They gave us Crevion LeBlanc like during
Yeah.
2018, and he was good that year. So they just keep Lions just keep giving us their good players.
And the only thing we really gave him was LeGarrette Blunt and now Deuce Staley. So
Yeah, like Garrett Blunt, Deuce Staley, and a third round
right.
pick.
Yeah, exactly.
The third round pick for Slay. That was about it.
Yeah. So being that you're a pretty big college football fan, I'm definitely gonna keep you in mind, next year when we get closer and closer to the draft and things like that, because you'll definitely be a good resource to have. And I want to ask you too about Kadarius Toney, the Giants' new pick. Obviously, he was a Florida Gator. What are your
Yes.
thoughts? What are your thoughts on him? And do you think he's gonna pan out when the crybabies get a quarterback? Actually,
I was gonna say, will he pan out with Daniel Jones? Absolutely not.
yeah. I got you.
The thing is, I liked Tony. I would have taken Tony in the second round. I think Tony probably could have gone because they picked him at 20. I think he was about around. Let's see, the Ravens picked at 27th. I think about around that. That probably would have been the earliest I think he would have gone. And then second rounder. He's definitely good when he gets into open space. He definitely is able to do. Like there was one where he shook off 5 dudes on a run, but those 5 dudes were also from South Carolina. So impressive, yes, but it's South Carolina. So it wasn't like, oh, we got our guy. Obviously, everybody and their mother knows Giants wanted Devontae Smith. Tony, I think, kind of see him if depends where they put him. If they put him in the slot, I think he'll be good. If they put him in the outside, I still think he'll be good. But you put him in the slot, and if he can get open room, then I think he's gonna get a very good a lot of good gains. Kind of like what I see with Rager. If you can get Rager open in the slot and he's got room to maneuver around, I think it'll be good. Tony does have very big issue with injuries. I hate to say it, but it's true. Dude could not stay healthy. He was healthy his senior year and freshman year, I think. And freshman year he played like 2 games, I believe.
Impressive, yes, but it was South Carolina.
I mean, like,
yeah. I mean, you only play who's on your schedule, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was either South Carolina or Arkansas, but either way, it's like
Razorbacks.
If it was Georgia or Alabama, I'd be like, holy shit. But I was like, I still went holy shit because it resulted in a touchdown. But I was also like, yeah, it's South Carolina. We own these people.
So you think if they're able to get him the ball in open space, that he can be somewhat of a weapon for them? I mean, I guess if you get any receiver the ball in open space, they're going to be a weapon for anybody. But okay. So
I definitely
think out of the 3, or I should say out of the 2, out of Kyle Pitts and Tony, who do you think is going to be, have the longer career, more successful career in the NFL?
Kyle Pitts, easily. I think they need to get a quarterback. But Kyle Pitts, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I was absolutely 100% biggest Kyle Pitts fanboy out there.
I got you. Yeah, and so you were definitely hoping that the Eagles are going to be able to.
Oh, it broke my heart. It broke my heart when we traded from 6. I shut down for the rest of that day. I went to the gym and I shut down after that. Dang. I was like, I'm done. Nobody talked to me.
It's just you and the crows, right?
Yeah, I was going through the motions, man. And then we got Devontae Smith, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like Kyle Pitts and Devontae Smith were a 1A and 1B. Yeah, and it was really just the height and the weight, I guess, that I was like, that I went with Kyle Pitts. So not even the weight, it was just the height. Because I was like, he's 6'6", and he's running about the same as like Jamar Chase. It's like.
Yeah. So once Pitts goes off the board, take us back to draft night a little bit. Once Pitts comes off the board, and then the 2 top corners come off the board, Denver, it was a Carolina and Denver, right? Both got the top 2 corners. So what were you thinking at that point before Dallas traded up with us, and then after Dallas traded? Bring us through your thought process that evening.
Well, first, my thought process was, I'm getting another drink, because I was drinking during that, because that draft was not going anywhere. But yeah, I was sitting, because I was like, we're not trading up. I was like, we messed up. I don't care that we're going to get a 3rd first. I was like, this was not worth it. We should have just stayed at 6. I hate everything. And I was like, who do we go with? I was like, at that point, do you just go with Caleb Farley? Because the injury history was not looking good.
Yeah.
I was like, I pray we don't go Kwity Paye. I was like, there's not really. I was like, maybe Rashawn Slater. And then we traded up, and like my dad was telling me, like, oh, they're gonna get Devontae Smith, and I went, don't talk to me. No, they're not. They're gonna get Justin Fields. I know Howie Roseman. I was like, they're getting Justin Fields or Kwity Paye. I was like,
yeah, you're like not believing.
They're not gonna do anything smart. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get a refill of my drink. I was like, I'm going to need this shot. I was like, I'm going to need this whiskey. And then they got Devontae Smith, and I was very happy. And then I chugged my whiskey. I was like, I'm still going to drink this whiskey. I don't care.
Were you like just floored when Dallas traded up with us? I mean, I know they did it too because they wanted to avoid Devontae going to New York, but I don't ever remember like an in-division rival, an in-division trade that early on in the draft. It seemed very, very unique to me, and I was floored. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, oh, I was absolutely stunned. I was like,
what? We're on the clock.
I was like, wait, when are
Wait
we
a
on the
minute.
clock? And then the thing about this draft was they, and by they I mean like the not officiating people, but like the tech crew that like control the clock and the picks and all that. They just sucked. Because I was like, wait, why do we still have the 10th and the 12th pick? What is happening here? Do we just give up everything? I was
Yeah.
like, what's happening here? And then finally, when it was like 2 minutes left, then it was like, oh, okay, Dallas has this pick, and I was like, come on, tech people.
Yeah,
You're
they're killing
killing me.
us, right?
Yeah. And then
Exactly.
it also just sucked because the commissioner just took forever with our pick. He was like walking up slow, like all gingerly. He was like do, listening to the boos, all that. And then it was
Those
like,
birds.
he was like, oh yeah, by the way, they got Devontae Smith. And then it was like, what? We got what?
Yeah, exactly. We
Yeah,
got who? Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I was very very excited with the way that panned out and everything, and yeah, we I mean we picked up another first round pick in the process, so that was very very fruitful for us, and hopefully Miami won't have too good of a season this year, and their first round pick next year will be pretty high.
yeah. Especially with Howard possibly sitting out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll help.
yeah,
That
yeah,
will definitely help.
yeah. But speaking of two former first round picks in themselves, Derek Barnett getting traded after recently restructuring his contract. What are your thoughts on him going forward with the team, and the thoughts of possibly him being traded? What do you think?
I'm been saying for probably 2 years now. Maybe not 2 years, but I know definitely last year I was saying why we got to start Sweat. I was like Barnett's not doing anything for us.
Yeah,
I was like first rounder, like rookie year, he was great, absolutely great, but just every year after that, it just injuries and it was just lack of talent and all that. It was just couldn't quite like everybody. I think when they were drafting was like, oh, kid's gonna play like Reggie White. It was like, no, absolutely not. And it was just you see Sweat, and even now you see Sweat in camp, and it's like everything just looks better by Sweat. Like his movements, his speed, like his hands, the way he does everything, it just looks better. And like I know Gannon, and I know Barnett's having a pretty decent camp, and I know Gannon in this recent press conference was like, I see them both as starters, which that's great, that's fine and dandy and all. But you also just admitted the rotational player who's not meant to be the starter is looking like a starter, and
right.
you can't have him start over. You can't have one of those two start over Brandon Graham. You just can't do that.
No
So
way.
I don't know if the restructuring is. I do think something big's about to happen. Don't know what. I think something big will happen.
Do you think there's a trade in the mix
I
possibly?
think
Well, I mean,
maybe a
we have to
trade,
take
maybe a
into
signing.
yeah, we have to take into account too that Barnett has looked good in camp, but how much of that was going against, Andre Dillard? Because I've heard that Dillard's been getting the brakes beat off of him again in camp. He's not having a good summer so far, and it seems like to me this kid is not very strong mentally. It seems like he's getting frustrated easily, and if all it took was starting him at right tackle for one game to break him mentally, then he might not be cut out for the NFL and especially Philadelphia. So, what are your thoughts on Andre Dillard?
I absolutely despise him. I do not. I think usually when most people say it's a bust, it's like, oh, their rookie year, they weren't good. He's a bust. Kind of like what they're saying with Rager. And it's like, we don't know. With Dillard, it's like, this is one of those guys where it's like, he's a bust. He played, granted, didn't play much his rookie year, but kind of was not good. Almost gets quarterback killed last year in camp, gets injured, out for the whole season, comes back, kind of knows his job's on the line, and just every day just keeps getting beat. It's just I don't think I've seen a positive camp note on him yet. Never mind, like, oh, Dillard actually had the better day. I know for a fact we haven't seen that.
Richie MC, you're funny. Live stream Papa Sora with special guest Philly Foothills.
Nah.
Yeah, I appreciate you holding it down for me when my internet crashed earlier.
Yeah.
It always happens.
No
it'll work fine throughout the whole day, and then as soon as I get deep into a live stream, it'll take a nice little shit on me. So yeah, much appreciated, man. Yeah, I agree with you. I think we can't have a former first round pick as our backup left tackle. And like you said, his only saving grace is if he can possibly slide inside and be a guard, but I haven't heard any inklings of him even being able to do that, or wanting to do that, working extra after practice to do so. I mean, even as good as Jordan Mailata has been doing it in camp, in practices so far, they've been saying he's been seen after practice putting in extra reps with guys like Eric Wilson, the linebacker that we just got from Minnesota. So, when a guy really wants to improve and get himself better, not only physically but mentally, they have to put in that extra work, and he just hasn't been doing that so far. So, if we can get something for him in a trade, then yeah, I think we need to part ways with Andre Dillard sooner than later, because if he gets hurt again, or if he continues to play like shit, then his draft capital is just going to keep going. I mean, his trade capital is just going to continue to go down. So, yeah, it's frustrating. It is the same thing with Derek Barnett. It's he just restructured, but to me, if we have guys like Josh Sweat, who is playing better than him in camp, and we drafted some of these guys who are looking good so far, like Teron Jackson, and even Milton Williams is athletic enough to slide outside and play some defensive end if we need to. We have Ryan Kerrigan. He played less than 35% of the damn snaps last year, and he still almost had 6 sacks. So
absolutely,
got a lot left in the tank. Ryan Kerrigan's far from done.
Yeah, and I think.
What were your thoughts when we signed him? I know he's been on the other side of enemy lines for quite some time. So, what were your thoughts when we signed Kerrigan?
I thought it was a completely underrated move. Completely blindsided me.
Right?
It was kind of.
Dude.
Wait, we
got who?
We were allowed to do that? Huh? I was like, I figured man would have been burned at the stake if that happened, and it happened. And I was like, that helps this already strong defensive lineman, and I don't have to worry about him for 2 games out of the year, so I'm good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. I mean, hell, I don't even know if he's as good as Winston Justice at this point. I don't, and that might be an insult to Winston Justice, because Dillard hasn't shown anything yet.
Which
shout out to the 7 in the live stream. Definitely, thank you guys for being here. What were you gonna say, Papa?
I was what's this? I was gonna say the thing that sucks about Dillard is I don't even think that was a Howie pick, because I remember Stoutland banging the table wanting this dude, which is why we jumped up from the Texans to get him, because the Texans were gonna get him. But I remember Stoutland banging the table. He was like, I want this dude. I need this dude, and just. If Stoutland can't fix him, there's just no hope.
Exactly. I mean, we may be biased when we say this, but I don't know. There's a whole lot of other offensive line coaches who are as good as Jeff Stoutland. I mean, he's by far the most experienced and best coach that we have. The most proven coach that we have on this staff as far as the NFL level. So, I was so glad. So glad that he didn't go down south near you, back down to Alabama, because
absolutely
it was, when they said that he was going to sign with Alabama, I was like, man, because I thought for sure, like, he's probably going to do that, because if he wants to go win a ring, with Saban and company, then that's probably a good chance to do so.
More than likely, he will.
Yeah,
Saban, not saying like he won't have a chance to win a ring with us. But it's like Saban, it's Alabama. It's completely different.
Facts. Jock Talk said, "Hey Foothills, how are you? I'm good, man. It's been a good day, and this has been a good live stream with my guy here, Papa Sora, so far. So
Indeed.
yeah, it's been a good one for sure." Drew Johnson said, "No, I don't see Dillard at guard. Yeah, I don't either. He, like I said, he's from everything I'm hearing and seeing, he's a one trick pony. He's a left tackle and a left tackle only. And I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it. If you're a one trick pony and your one trick isn't that good, then you need to go."
Yeah. Because part of me was kind of hoping, I was like, I kind of hope Dillard was kind of hoping Dillard won it, because not because of like, oh, the first round pick and it makes this look good, but because it was like, okay, if that happens, I know Jordan Mailata can definitely move into left guard, and a dude his height and his size in the interior, I was like, that would be cool. But he is definitely showing that he is a way better left tackle, and I am glad to have him as my left tackle. And I feel like Jalen Hurts is too. And any of the running backs, because you even saw, and I think prime example, Arizona game, Mailata like pushes his guy down. Might have even been Chandler Jones, who Slay's already recruiting. Thank you, Slay. But it was like he pushed him down. Sanders is running out. Mailata's running with the dude. He's still catching blocks, running with Sanders. And I think that's definitely because of him being the rugby player. He's used to having to run with the ball. So I definitely think that helps as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so Vic 3 said it makes perfect sense to trade Ertz and Barnett to Arizona for Chandler Jones. Maybe we made some cap room to make a deal like that work, or maybe we could go after a disgruntled cornerback. Yeah, I mean, from what I'm reading with the restructures of Lane and Derek Barnett, I think we have in the range of 14 million or so in salary cap space. So yeah, we definitely have a little bit of room, a wiggle room now to possibly sign, another cornerback, maybe a safety. We just recently got that kid Obi from who was a second round pick from the Raiders. And we'll see if he pans out at all. But yeah, I'm excited about Jordan Mailata. Jock Tuck said Mailata helps pick up the players after they get tackled. Yeah, I mean he's a hard working guy, and for as far as he's come in the short amount of time, it's been pretty impressive, because this time last year, we have to remember, he wasn't having that great of a camp. He didn't really step his game up until the season started. So he definitely battled through some adversity, definitely. Obviously coming over from Australian rugby, never playing high school or college football, for the amount that he's been able to progress and improve. And like I said, the short amount of time that he's done so has been very, very impressive. He's our left tackle for the future at 100%. He's the one piece, the one young, solid piece that I'm really, really excited about for this offensive line going forward. I mean, obviously, we still got guys like Lane Johnson, Derek Brooks, Jason Kels. Obviously, that's a solid pieces there, but we all know that those guys are, that they maybe this is Kels. Obviously, he said he's retiring. This is his, farewell tour. And I mean, Derek Brooks and I should say Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson. They're one of the best right sides in football when healthy. But that's a big win, and it has been like that for a little while now with those guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I will say, kind of the first thought I got, which is going back to what Victory said when what's its face? When I saw Barnett restructured, and I knew at that point everybody had known Chandler Jones was wanting a trade. I was thinking, I mean, maybe that would work. Barnett and Jones, not saying that's all that it would be, but like Barnett and Jones, Barnett goes to a different team, both edges kind of get replaced. And I mean, I don't know, because it was kind of like Barnett even had players wanting him before the trade. Like I know Raiders, Ravens, all that wanted him. So kind of swapping defensive end for defensive end could still work for the team. Eagles are getting that more veteran presence and a dominant force on that defensive line. And Cardinals would get a younger defensive guy who has shown flashes, just can't beat out. Just Josh Sweat is just better. He's having a good camp, so it's not like his stock is dropping. It's just Josh Sweat is doing better than him.
Yeah, yeah. He's looked just a lot more consistent. And when you got guys like Josh Sweat getting praise from Brandon Graham this early on in camp, then that's it. That's a very, very good thing.
Yeah.
Those guys don't just throw out compliments. And Fletcher Cox has been complimenting Milton Williams already as well. So yeah, when you're getting praise from vets like that, and that means a lot, and that says something to me, definitely.
Yeah. Or because apparently saw this recently from like an Arizona webpage or something. A disgruntled star for a disgruntled star, like Ertz for Jones. Kind of give Kyler Murray another weapon, and again, just disgruntled star for disgruntled star. At that point, then you have that. Move on from Barnett if you want to, send it to a different team.
Yeah.
So, a lot of different possibilities with
right
Barnett and Ertz and possibly Jones.
Yeah. So I mean, because we've our receivers have been dealing with some different issues. Obviously Rieger's been dealing with lower body injury and the death of a close friend, and Quez Watkins, Greg Ward Jr. They were dealing with some non-COVID related illnesses. So we seen J-Jaw getting some reps in the slot. What are your thoughts on him? Are you done with J-Jaw? Are you done with the umbrella man, or do you want to see if this coaching staff can get something out of this kid, out of this second round pick of ours?
My thoughts are, who cares? Get him out of here. Get him out. Tell him to go. He can open up an umbrella company. I don't care. Just get out of the state. Go to Pittsburgh if you want to open an umbrella company. I do not care.
We could trade him to Seattle, and he can go open up an umbrella company there.
Yeah, it's rainy. Detroit, send him there. It's rainy there as well.
Yeah,
like, just cool. You have him. I think it was one of the earlier days, and it was the most JJ touchdown you could ever get. He got a touchdown, but it was called back because he stepped out of bounds and came back in as an ineligible receiver. And it was he only has like 2 touchdowns. One was a legitimate touchdown against the Dolphins. The second one was, I think it was against the Ravens after Miles Sanders had a 70-yard touchdown and it got punched out at the end and he just picked it up in the end zone.
Right.
Like, all he did was run with him and he was like, oh, cool, there's a ball here. Like, that's one touchdowns. Like,
he definitely hasn't shown much. But so if, I'm going to ask you this before we wrap this thing up a little bit here. We've been almost on for 2 hours, so I appreciate your time tonight, Papa. But if J-Jaw does make this team and he has a good year, theoretically, should Coach Sirianni automatically win the Coach of the Year?
Give him the keys to everything in Philadelphia. Yes. If J-Jaw has, I'll even say, like, not even 1,000 yards. If J-Jaw has like 2 touchdowns, like 500 yards, something like that. If he looks decent, yes, absolutely, 100%. Give him everything.
Okay.
Give him everything. If he can make J-Jaw look good, then I don't care.
They're gonna be, him and Steichen are gonna be thought of as definitely wide receiver gurus. There's
fat stogies everywhere, bro.
Exactly.
Give them everything.
Fat stogies around, that's for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, shout out to Coach Dante's in the building. Thank you, sir. He said shout out to the 10 in the chat. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, we got the generals in the building. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you, sir. Yodat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yeah, so like I said, we're gonna wrap it up here in a couple minutes. But I mean, is there anything you want to ask me about this season, or any questions you had for me, or any closing comments or anything like that for everybody?
Oh, my boys. I will say, I will say one thing I saw that was kind of interesting was I saw they were running Jack Stoll as a fullback.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I saw that
Serious?
today they ran him as a fullback.
They're
So
listening
I
to
don't
me. They're
I don't
listening to me. I posed that question to our boy Joe Castro on,
yeah.
and shout out to him to Philly the podcast. I asked him, because I know he interviewed Jack Stoll and he's somewhat familiar with him now. If the Eagles were to run a set with a fullback, if Jack Stoll could fit that role. So that's interesting that you brought that up, because that would be really cool to see, because I miss that type of smash mouth football. I really
Yeah.
do. I don't know if you remember it. I don't know. It might have been a little bit before that you started following the Eagles, but there used to be a fullback by the name of John Ritchie. He was on the Raiders and then he was on our Eagles. He used to literally, because the helmet he would block so hard that he would, at times he'd have blood running down
I
the
think I remember that.
in his face. So that's the type of smash mouth type of football that I miss at times. And yeah, if they're looking to do that, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Because
I'd
I
like to
saw
see.
that and I was wondering, because he looked good at rookie minicamp. So I was like, this guy, because at that point at rookie minicamp, we all assumed Zach Ertz was still going to be gone. So we were
Right.
looking at Goddard, Richard Rodgers, and Jack Stoll.
And
Both are.
and we have the first year uh, quarterback.
Oh yeah, Tyree Jackson too. He
Yes, he does.
he's what I expected.
He's big too, 6'7" and like 200 and I
That's
think
like Kyle
250
Pitts.
pounds.
That's
Yeah,
that's Kyle Pitts size.
if he could pay, I mean, it's his first full off season as a tight end, so
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. But
So
yeah,
he
get
could
across
possibly
that
beat out
field.
like a Richard Rodgers and all that. But
You
kind
never
of now
know.
looking at the rumors of okay, Ertz is staying, and now looking at Jack Stoll instead of tight end, trying him out at fullback. Gotta wonder like if this means Ertz is staying, and okay, now we have a fullback.
Right.
So I saw that, and I just immediately just went, "That's interesting."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I agree.
finally got news about Jacoby Stevens. That's like the one player I'm excited to, probably the number one player I'm excited to watch in preseason.
Okay. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on him being from LSU? I know you've probably seen a lot of him,
Yeah.
watched a lot of him play. So
I mean, I hate
he's
to admit it, but
he's
he
getting a
locked.
lot of praise too, because he's
Yeah.
only certain players, right, can get to wear that number 7 at
Yeah.
LSU, and Patrick Peterson and the Honey Badger are both giving him a high praise. So yeah, tell me what you think about
Yeah.
your thoughts on Jacoby.
So for anyone watching that doesn't know the history about number 7 at LSU, that is given to the best defensive player on the team. Jacoby Stevens was like, I believe he wore 3 until his senior year. And
Okay.
then Coach O gave him number 7. And like Philly Foothills mentioned, that was previously worn by Patrick Peterson, the Honey Badger, now Jacoby Stevens, and now it's Derek Stingley Jr., who's Philly fans know that name by heart at this point. They know who Derek Stingley Jr. is, and he's wearing number 7. So number 7's a very important number in LSU history.
Cool.
Jacoby Stevens kind of watched his presser today. Dude's smart. Dude has such high football. Like I was kind of shocked he was in 6th round. Like it made sense, but it was also kind of shocking to me. So when we got him, I was absolutely stoked.
Yeah.
But I kind of see him, and I don't remember. I think it was Philly the podcast video of like, could the Eagles have top 10 defense? And it was, he was talking about that third, like that linebacker / third safety, kind of like what Malcolm Jenkins was, and how Gannon would used to run that in like Minnesota and Indianapolis. And I watched that video, and just as he was describing that, because he showed clips of Gannon talking about kind of talking about his defensive schemes. And knowing that that's what Gannon wants to run, and looking at the Jacoby Stevens pick, you can tell that was not a Howie pick. That was a Gannon pick. because that's exactly what Jacoby Stevens is. He's that third linebacker that can cover like the tight ends. Like my boy Kyle Pitts. I hate to admit it, but he locked up my boy Kyle Pitts. And then he can also kind of, because dude's really, really smart. So he can kind of decide when he needs to be that linebacker, rush for the blitz, go hit the quarterback, cover the tight end, cover the zone, or, okay, let me drop back, be that third safety. So he's a kind of, I can kind of see him winning the starting, like strong side linebacker, because those are the ones that cover the tight ends like Kyle Pitts.
Cover the
pit. Which I think you might see week 1, which would be very interesting.
Right.
But yeah, I just see him doing that. See him kind of having that Malcolm Jenkins role. See him dropping back, being that third safety, being that strong linebacker. Because how I see the linebacker going is I see Davian Taylor being the weak side linebacker because he's that fast twitch guy.
Yeah,
he can drop into the slot, help whoever's in the slot. McPherson, Maddox, not Isaiah Joe, Isaiah Scott.
Josiah Scott, yeah.
Josiah Scott. Eric Wilson, obviously middle linebacker. And then I see Jacoby Stevens being that third safety / strong linebacker. He'll cover the tight end. He'll hit the running back. He'll do, because I don't know if you've seen his highlight clips. That championship game against Clemson, I think it was T. Higgins. You watch that hit against Jacoby Stevens put on T. Higgins.
Yeah.
It will give you Brian Dawkins vibes. Like the whole dude just shook.
Ooh.
Like his body shook. He was on the ground for a minute. Like you could see his soul leave. It was beautiful. So I'm very excited for Jacoby Stevens, and we talked about it earlier, but also Zach McPherson. I'm very excited for those two.
Yeah. So with Zach doing well in camp, and with Josiah Scott also, showing out, he's had a couple of interceptions. I think at least one of them was against Jalen Hurts. Do you think that either one of them is going to beat out Avonte Maddox for the CB3 spot?
I could absolutely see it. Yes. I don't know if they're having McPherson in the outside or in the slot. If it's in the slot or if it's on the outside, I think that might complicate things with draft next year, because you're looking at Stingley, Elam. Those are the top 2 outside corners in college right now. So it's kind of, if you move on from Steve and keep Slay, or vice versa, and you move Zach, or what do you do with Zach, and what do you do with either Stingley or Elam? So it's kind of, I feel like Zach would, because he was a top 5 corner in the power ratings.
Yeah.
On the outside. So it's kind of, I don't know if they have him in the outside or in the slot. If they have him in the slot, then I can absolutely see him beat out Avonte Maddox. Next year, move on from Steve Nelson, get Derek Stingley, Kyrie Elam, have Slay, and then retires, and then you're looking for another outside corner. And then you're set for corner for a couple of years. At that point, then you're just adding on depth.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I feel like it kind of depends on where they're playing Zach, because personally I think they should play him in the slot for exactly that reason. Why you have Zach, you have Stingley or Elam, and then you have Slay next year, and that's a dominant secondary. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. So being that you're very familiar with Kyle Pitts, being a Florida fan, what would your defensive scheme? Because wouldn't you say that even coming in as a rookie, he's going to be their number one weapon? I mean, wouldn't you say so? Or you think it's going to be more like a Calvin Ridley?
I think Slay can handle Calvin Ridley. You might have like the safety, like the box safety up there, just in case. I think, kind of like Jock Talk said, I think Pitts might end up, or Stevens might end up covering Pitts. Of course, he has to win the starting linebacker job, in my opinion, because I think the safeties right now are kind of on lock. I think it's obviously Anthony Harris, and if McLeod's back, then McLeod. If not, then maybe Kavon.
Yeah.
But that third linebacker, starting linebacker / third safety, is still open, which I think Jacoby can win that. I don't know if he'll win that this year. That might be a next year. But looking at this year, it's kind of who are you going to have there? So it's kind of, and I also think, and I'll even say this for Devontae, with it being their first game, I kind of think it'll end up being a little bit slower for them. So I don't think they'll be like main targets. But definitely for Pitts, I could see maybe Stevens. They put Stevens in there and go, all right, you did it in college, go do it again.
So you think? So you think like would you lean towards maybe sliding some double coverage over towards Pitts' way?
I think you have to have a linebacker on him at all costs. I think you have to have whoever that strong side linebacker is, because that's their main jobs usually cover the tight end.
Yeah,
I think mainly because
maybe with some safety help over the top.
Yeah, because I'm assuming Atlanta's going to run him as a tight end. Because if we got him, obviously you put him on the outside. You put him as a wide receiver. Have Dallas Goedert, tight end, all that, which I don't have to preach anymore because he's a Falcon and not an Eagle.
Right.
But so I do think Atlanta will run him as a tight end, which I think is a mistake, because if he was on the outside, I'd be like, yeah, we got to have Nelson. We got to have like a safety on him. But being in the tight end slot, I'm going to be like, all right, we can have a linebacker and just kind of have another guy aware of him. Kind of stay like the box safety, stay in your zone. And if you see Kyle Pitts coming, then you do not hesitate. You run and you get him.
Yeah.
So I don't think
you can't let a weapon like that get free in any kind of open space, or he's going to kill you.
Yeah. So I definitely do think you might. Again, this is going off of me thinking Jacoby Stevens will win that third linebacking and be able to be the strong linebacker and third safety.
Okay.
I think if that happens, then I think we're good with covering Pitts. I think if Pitts is in the tight end, I don't think we will, our tight end spot, I do not think we will have to worry about him as much as if he were on the outside.
Okay. Got you. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch that matchup. Whoever is guarding Pitts, I think we're going to definitely have to try to limit his touches. You know, let Matt Ryan go elsewhere with the football. Definitely not let that young kid get behind the the linebackers, like you said, and get any big plays down the field, because he's gonna do that eventually in the NFL. We just hope that maybe he has a little bit of a slow start out the gate for Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to rush Ryan a lot. Definitely gonna have to get in Ryan's face and keep the pressure up.
Oh yeah, Josh Sweat's gonna be popping. Matt Ryan,
absolutely. Because I don't think
he's my pick to lead the team in sacks this year. He really is. I think he's going to have. Absolutely. I think he's going to have north of 12 sacks this year by himself, and I think easily see that happening as long as he stays healthy and with that extra game. Yeah, we're going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up. You know, I want all my Philbillies to thank Papa Sora for coming in. You're always welcome in the nest. It was really great, really good talking with you tonight, talking some Eagles, NFC East.
Yeah. It was really fun being here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming in, definitely. And so let's see. Victory said Jacoby Stevens reminds a lot of Mark Barron of Bama. I just hope we get him better position than Barron was put in when he was in Tampa. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Let's see here. So yeah, make sure if you guys haven't done so, hit that thumbs up before we get out of here. 16 likes. Let's try to get 4 more so we can get it to 20. But yes, please make sure you continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Nest Out West with your boy here, Philly Foothills. It's always a Philly Fuego production. We are on the push now. Now that we've reached 1,000+ subscribers, we're on that push to get to 4,000 watch hours. And as of today, we eclipsed the 700 mark. So we're getting there. It's slowly but surely. But yeah, so we're over 700 watch hours. So yeah, guys, please make sure you watch as much of my content and help me get this channel monetized sooner than later. But yeah. Also, you guys make sure that you guys go check out my man here, Papa Sora, on Twitch. And his links are down below in the description. And he's also, you can find him on Twitter as well. So got anything you want to say to everybody before we get out of here?
No, not much. Just expect a couple of things. Kind of just starting on the Twitch, so might be a bit more till I'm active. But yeah, expect more. Expect some things coming. Definitely, we'll just kind of be gaming. But if anybody asks anything Eagles, I will always talk Eagles.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I know you bleed green.
Yeah, just because it's gaming does not mean I will not talk about sports.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it so much. You have a good night too. My partner in crime there in AK Eagles. You guys all be safe, please, as well. And yeah, until we meet again, we fly until we die.
Yes,
Stay
sir.
mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing me on your screen. And most importantly, as always, keep it fuego. Peace, y'all.